In this tutorial, we'll practice modifying and creating pages in an ActivInspire Flipchart that can be used on your Promethean board. If you're on the Spearville School Network, you'll want to open up the Practice Flipchart and maybe even the Notes page, which can both be found on Google Drive. To do so, go to your Google Applications and select Drive. From here, you'll want to click on the Shared with Me folder and open up the folder titled Promethean and ActivInspire Stuff. Next, click on Tutorials and open up the file titled Practice Flipchart. No preview will be available, so go ahead and download it. Once the Flipchart downloads, you'll need to double-click the file to open it. And when you open up ActivInspire files, they don't automatically pop up. Instead, you have to go to the bottom of your screen and click on the ActivInspire program, and then it should be there waiting for you. Okay, so this is our practice Flipchart. Let's begin by setting up and customizing your toolbar. The toolbar is probably by default located on the left side of your screen. You can use the yellow bar at the top to drag it anywhere you want. You can put it right in the middle, you can move it to the right. It's totally up to you and whatever's easiest for you. You can also minimize the toolbar by clicking this little yellow triangle, and that gives you just the options to do go to the next page, previous page, or the menu. So it's your choice where you want to put the toolbar. If you want to change the buttons that are on your toolbar, go up to the Tools menu, go down to More Tools, and then go over to Edit User-Defined Buttons. From this dialog box, you'll want to click on Commands, and on the left side, you'll see all the tools that are available to you, and there should be a lot. If there aren't, you'll want to contact Jesse or someone to help you with that, but there should be a lot of tools over here on the left side. On the box on the right side, you will have the tools that you have placed in your own toolbar. So if you look at this box right here on the right side, it matches exactly what you see on my actual toolbar. So first is the menu, and then you go down a little bit, I have Switch Profile, Desktop Annotate, Desktop Tools. So this is what my toolbar looks like. If you want to add more buttons to your toolbar, like let's say I want to add Magic Ink, then you select it on the left side, click on the Add button, and it will be added wherever your cursor was. So my cursor was right here, that's where it went. If that's not where I want it in my toolbar, then I can move it up or down using these buttons. And if I decide maybe I don't actually want that on my toolbar, I just select it and I can remove it also. So you can kind of play around with that and set up your toolbar however you want it. Anyway, back to the Flipchart. So we're going to practice using some of these tools to do some basic things. The first button I want to show you is Blank Page After Current. Sometimes you might be in the middle of a presentation and you all of a sudden want just a blank paper to use, this kind of like scratch paper, or instead of using your whiteboard. You can click on Blank Page After Current and it will automatically insert a blank page. You can write on it, you can use the text tool to type on it, really whatever you want to. You can draw shapes or lines. It's whatever you want to do with that page. So again, that was the Blank Page After Current button is how I did that. To go back to my original page, I just click on the Previous Page button. Okay, the next one I want to show you is the Page Browser. And this one, it comes in really handy. It will open up at the bottom of your screen all of the pages in the Flipchart, and you can use these little arrows to navigate through the Flipchart as you need to. If you want to open up a different page that you're not on, you just simply click on it and you can jump around from page to page within your Flipchart. You can also move them and rearrange them. So if I don't like where this word web is and I want to put it here, then I can just drag it and then you can change the order that way. You can also copy and then you can paste additional pages wherever you want them, if you want that page in there more than once. You can also select a page and delete it. So the page browser is handy because you can navigate quickly through that way. Okay, I'm going to go back to the first page of the flip chart, and I'm going to click on my resource browser, which looks like a little lights, camera, action thing with a music note on it. And I'm going to add a background to my page by clicking on this little yellow arrow. This is your resource browser, by the way, down here at the bottom. So if I click on this arrow, I can see all of the resources that I've loaded into here. And if you're new to the program, you may only have 4 or 5 options on your list, and you'll get more as you load them into the program. But I have a lot because I've been using it for a while. I can click on the word backgrounds, and I can see some of the different backgrounds that are available. These are really easy to use. You basically just use a drag and drop. So if I want to try this pink one, then I just drag it and I drop it to my flip chart. If I decide that's not the one I want to use, I can click any other one, and I can just keep changing it out until I find one that I like. So you can kind of play around with that. Find a background that you're comfortable with and that you like to use. Sometimes when you add the background, you might find that the words don't show up or different things need to be changed, and that's pretty easy to do. When you're in the selector tool, you can basically select anything and then you can edit it as you need to. So I could change this to white if I feel like that would show up better. Anyway, back to the resource browser. I showed you how to add a background. If you want to add clip art, you'll also want to do it from this resource browser. So I would type in whatever it is I'm looking for. Let's say I want to add an insect. Then you can click that in the search button, or the search box, excuse me, and then look through your resource browser and it will show you all the different things related to insect that you've added. Most of the time it's going to be clip art. Sometimes they might be short videos or sound clips. It just depends on what resource packs you've loaded into the program. And again, you just use drag and drop and you can put any picture in there. If you need to resize them, just drag the corner notches. Once you have the images you want and you have them where you want them, I recommend locking them in place, and you can do that by simply right-clicking on an object and then choose Locked. And this means the students will not be able to move it. You can see as I click on this, I can't move it anymore. If I go into designer mode, which is the red snowflake, then I can still move it. But as long as it's in blue mode, which is user mode, it can't be moved as long as it's locked. So I would lock everything in place. Including my text. And so anyway, that's kind of how you use the resource browser to add things. Now the menu you can use, I just was kind of clicking on that. The menu will help you do a lot of different things to the image. You can, like I showed you earlier, lock it in place. You can copy it to make another one. You can also just select an item. I showed you how to resize something. You can rotate it using this little half arrow thing. Let's see. You can group items, which you would have to be in the designer mode to do that. So I could group these by selecting both of them and then clicking the group option. You can also move things up or down. Oops, sorry. Move things up or down by dragging them. You can resize them, make them larger, make them smaller. So those are kind of some of the basic things you can do once you get clip art on your page. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next page. And this one I did the drag and drop feature, but I'll show you really quickly how you might use the text tool on here. You could simply click wherever you want to and start typing. So if I want to say, good morning class, then I can align it however I want to. You can see maybe I want that to be a little bit larger so it fits on the lines better. And you can just kind of play with it. You can type whatever you want to. arrange it however you want to so that the students can see it. You can also use your pen to draw things if you want to. Moving on to the next slide. On this page, I want to show you how to change the fill color and the background. We can use this fill bucket, and you can choose the color you want, and then you can use that to change the background color, or maybe you just want to change the inside of the box. You can also use this tool, the bucket, to change the color of the lines or the boxes. You can use it to change the color of the text as well. So that's kind of a handy tool that I like to use sometimes when I want to make changes quickly and easily to the color of the things on my page. Okay, if I wanted to change the size and color of the text, well, I just showed you I can do that with the fill bucket. I can also just click on this text tool, and then I can highlight whatever I want to. Then you'll see at the bottom a menu where you can change the font, you can change the size, and you can change the color by clicking on this little color box. And then you can click off of it to see how it looks every once in a while. Kind of like in Microsoft Word, you can also change whether it's left aligned, center, you can make it right aligned, you can make it a bulleted list or numbered list, kind of all of those options. One more thing about changing the color, if you don't like this color palette that's available, you can click on this little wheel and it will give you a lot more color options, and you can just kind of click around till you see something that you think will work, and then click OK. So now I have this invented color. Or you can also use the dropper tool to make the color match something else on your page. So if I want it to match this box, or I want it to match that text or this text, you can choose any of those colors that are already on there, and that can be a quick and easy way to make sure your color scheme is lined up or matching. So that's just another option you have there. Okay, let's see. Another tool I wanted to show you is the Revealer tool, and this is something that I use a lot if I only want the kids to see maybe part of the page at a time. So maybe we're going to cover what happened in the story first, and then we're going to cover when did it happen, why did it happen, where did it happen, who was there, and you can reveal bit by bit. You can also use the revealer going from left to right. You can reveal from right to left, you can reveal bottom to top. It's kind of whatever your need is at the time. On this page, I wanted to just show you how you can use the shape tool. You can draw shapes on the left side of the color menu. That's going to be the outline of your shape. The right side is going to be the fill color of your shape. The middle, where you see the stars, is going to show how thick or thin it appears. And then on the right side, you can navigate through the menu to see all the shapes that are available. So for example, if I wanted to draw a yellow box around the title, I would choose, I can choose yellow outline and yellow background, and I can draw, oops, I wanted a box, not an ellipse. Okay, so I can draw a box around my title. Then if I want to put that box behind my title, because I didn't really want to hide my title, I just right click. Well, I might have to go back to my selector tool. Now I can right click and then go to align, I'm sorry, not align, reorder, and I can send it to the back. So now my title comes up to the front. And like I showed you earlier, I would probably want to lock that in place so that it doesn't keep changing. Let's see, I already talked a little bit about how to switch from the user mode to design mode, but an example would be if I was like, oh, maybe I don't want that to be yellow, I can switch back to the designer mode, which is the red snowflake, and then I can change it. I can make it blue instead of, oops, I can make the box blue instead of yellow. So you can kind of do whatever you want to in that mode. Excuse me. When you have a box like this in your flip chart, you can have the students come up with a pen and they could write